So it's been an easy transition, and it really has felt like home from the time we drove in the driveway the first time. You tour this home, and it looks like a museum, and you really begin to wonder what's it going to be like to live in a museum, basically. And so I was a little worried about what that would be like. But I think a couple of things have really helped. One is we have private quarters apart from the public space of the house. So we were able to sort of take that and bring our own furniture in, decorate it the way we wanted it decorated. So it really feels like that's our home. We've been married, and so the house itself is modeled after the Governor's Palace in Williamsburg. So for me, that may have been another way that it felt like coming home, because I spent time at the Governor's Palace. We actually went and studied in the gardens a lot while we were there. So that's been kind of neat.
What is your favorite room or favorite part?
Probably the favorite part of the house is the Widow's Walk. So getting your exercise, going up to the roof, and just standing out there, you can see Paris Mountain. In the winter, when the leaves are off, you can see the Blue Ridge Mountains, and it's a great place to see a sunset any time of the year.
Do you play an integral role in the entertainment side? Like, what does that look like?
I do. You know, that's been, I think, one of the fun things about being first gentleman, and I guess one of the things about being the first gentleman is nobody really knows what the first gentleman should be doing. So I kind of get to define that role. And one of the fun things has been doing the entertaining in the house. You know, we have the freshmen come over during orientation, and the seniors come over in the spring. So that's fun, but we also have trustee events here. We had a dinner in October out by the pool, which was really nice. We just had the 50th and the 55th class reunion receptions here over homecoming. So that was 2 in one day. That's not normal, but it was a fun time to see those special alums come back to campus and to enjoy some time in White Oaks. So with that entertaining, usually I'm involved with working with the caterers to make sure that the menu for the food looks good. If we have flowers in the gardens, a lot of times I'll get those and do the arrangements for the tables and that sort of thing. So it's just sort of whatever we need to get done in order to make the event a nice event that's going to be memorable for those that are coming.
You have some big projects coming up. Could you tell me about that?
We do have some projects coming up. You know, one of the things that I did when I got here, obviously, was sort of walk around and see what was here in the house and what kind of condition some things were in. And it's a wonderful place. And it's pretty much like it was when Ms. Daniel left it to the university in 1992, although I hear a lot of cleaning has taken place since then. But in terms of the furnishings, all the soft goods, so the curtains, the bedspreads that are up in the bedrooms on the second floor, it's all original from what she had done. And so if you look closely, some of it is really beginning to show the age in terms of some fading or some deterioration of the fabrics. So I actually have a committee of 3 ladies that I guess are sort of in charge of the interior when we need to do things. So I had them over for lunch, and we just sort of toured, and I pointed out some things that I'd noticed. And I think sometimes a fresh set of eyes looking at things can bring a new perspective. So we walked around and looked at some things and decided that we probably do need to do a little refurbishing and refreshing of some of the items in the house. So we're starting to think about that. So a couple of big projects that we have going in January, we will begin building a carport of some sort because we don't have any kind of covered parking. And you know, that can be a problem on a particular day like today where it's raining, you know, and where Elizabeth's having to go out and get ready and go into campus for events and that sort of thing. So to get some sort of covered parking, so we'll be working on that. The other thing that I sort of wanted people to look at is the house was built in 1957, which means that the wiring in the house is from 1957. And I didn't want to be the one to flip the light switch and start the fire in the walls from faulty wiring. Not that we've had any indication that that's the case, but I thought it certainly deserved looking at. And so the plan is for next summer that we're going to begin looking at rewiring the main part of the house so we can bring it up to today's electrical codes here. But it's completely full of roses. And so those are spectacular during rose season. And it's always nice to have fresh roses coming in the house from the looks and from the smell of the roses. The other one is the Linden Court Garden. And the Linden Court Garden is more perennials and vegetables. So we have some beautiful peonies that bloom in the spring in there. Jeff plants it with tulips in the spring, so we have gorgeous tulip beds that we can cut from. We have some Shasta daisies that come back every year. And those are probably the three, and some dahlias. Those are the main cutting flowers we have in there right now. We have blueberries, which have been great for the past 2 summers, so we eat a lot of blueberry muffins and blueberry cobblers and freeze a lot so that we can use them throughout the year. We have raspberries and blackberries there as well. And then we'll plant green beans and squash and cucumbers and tomatoes, lettuce.
Gardening, do you have any other hobbies or interests that have developed on account of moving to White Oaks?
I don't know if it's moving to White Oaks. I guess it is. Just knowing more about the history of the house is something that I've been interested in. You know, I think obviously with White Oaks being the president's home, it's an important part of farming. I think the president's home, whether it's on campus or off campus, is a place that can be the center of a lot of activity for the university. I think it illustrates a sense of philanthropy in that it wasn't built as the president's home, but was given along with all the furnishings to Furman for that purpose. And so I think it sort of anchors people in seeing what philanthropy can do for a university. For me, you know, it's a treasure, I think, for Furman. I don't think there are many universities in the country that have a presidential home that's like this. And so I think it's important that we make sure that we are keeping it up to the standard that it deserves to be kept. You know, I think with White Oaks, I see myself as a caretaker. You know, we have Jeff Dry, and who takes care of the outside. We have Tanya that keeps the inside clean. But I guess I sort of see myself as the big picture caretaker to make sure that we are doing what we need to do. You know, as far as the role of the first gentleman with Furman, you know, first and foremost, support Elizabeth as president. And so taking care of things at the house so that she doesn't have to worry about that. But also just being a representative for Furman and helping get the Furman story out so that people know what a special place Furman is.